The Transporter, explained by an idiot. Shout out High Boy. W movie right here, bro. If you haven't watched it, go watch it after this. I ain't gonna lie. W video.
Welcome to the Transporter.
W movie.
Movie starts off in an empty parking garage with Jason Statham sitting in a schmexy BMW 7 Series, glances at his watch and takes off for his...
What, bro? This man right here, one of the greatest, bro. No cap.
Destination, drives around the city of Nice, France, gets to a bank, and right as he arrives, 4 bank robbers come out and pile into his car. He changes license plates but refuses to take off because there are 4 of them and the deal is only for 3. And one of his very important rules that he never breaks is that you never change the deal. And because they're in a German car, then you must follow the rules. He gives them racing driver excuses like the extra weight is going to ruin my power to weight ratio, the car won't handle right, blah blah blah. After some back and forth between him and the lead robber dude realizes that he can't kill him and take the car because the car won't start without a code, so he just kills one of his accomplices. They throw him out and Jason gladly drives...
What? Dog. Yo, I forgot that happened in the beginning, bro. Yo, I forgot that happened. I'm over here thinking like, bro, doesn't he get out? I don't remember. It's blurred to me. I forgot this man ups it on his own person, bro. Dog. Good movie, I tell you.
Drives off, but now the cops are on their ass, so Chase begins. He drives down this narrow road, then is immediately seen in the next shot backing out of this narrow road, which is the first of many continuity errors in this movie. So many, in fact, I'm going to start a counter for them. Anyway, more fancy Jason Statham driving happens to avoid the cops on roads, sidewalks, and more narrow streets, till he gets stuck on a bridge between a garbage truck and some cops. But then he spots a car carrier that's about to pass right underneath him with an empty spot on his back, so he floors it and does a burnout. Perfectly times the launch of his car to jump off the bridge and onto the lorry in the empty spot. Ignoring the fact that the car survived this and the lorry driver not feeling or noticing anything. How does this car bunny hop over the railing like that? Also, check out this clip. Was bro doing a burnout without touching the gas pedal? The is this Bluetooth throttle cable? Car bunny hop over the railing like that. Also, check out this clip.
Continuity error counter. Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah. Maybe he has an e-brake up. I don't know.
Was bro doing a burnout without touching the gas pedal? The is this Bluetooth
no, he touched the gas pedal.
Whatever. Homie then borrows the robber's gun to shoot a lever that lowers the cars behind him.
He
Then gets off the car carrier himself and speeds off to a rail yard warehouse place of sorts and times his escape from the cops perfectly with his train blocking their path from following him. No idea how this one cop slipped past the moving train though. He then drives the robbers over to the drop-off spot. They pay him extra because they want him to continue driving them over to Avignon, but he's like, nah, deal's a deal, and rule number 1 says that the deal never changes. Gives them back the difference and the grumpy off to continue their journey in the Citroën. He goes back to his beautiful house by the beach, cleans his car of evidence, and changes his license plates out of rotation from his many license plates. Then Inspector Clouseau comes over investigating anyone with a BMW
plates for days.
That recent bank robbery, but Jason avoids any suspicion by being smooth, calm, and collected. So the inspector leaves and Jason gets a call right after for another job. Goes to meet the client and asks him about the size and weight of the package. He's transporting the drop-off location. Tells the guy about his rules. Number 1, never change the deal. Number 2, no names. Number 3, never open the package. Then reviews the details of the deal with him. The drop-off location is at a place called 24 Rue de Luxembourg, which he says is 250 kilometers away. Only problem is it's not. The closest 24 Rue de Luxembourg to the French Riviera is almost 1,000 kilometers away. So unless he's first going to travel 750 kilometers closer to pick up the package, then that statement is incorrect. Actually, that still doesn't make any sense because if you're traveling that far to pick up the package, you're definitely going to factor it into your calculations, so it's just flat out wrong. Anyway, he goes to do the job. Sketchy bald man puts the package in his trunk and he drives off, enjoys the drive through France till he gets a flat tire, so he gets out to inspect the tire and opens the trunk to get out the spare, but sees the package moving, indicating that there's a human inside, which clearly does not sit right with him, but he pushes them out the way anyway and gets the spare, changes it out with another continuity error happening because he lifts the car up with the spare already on the car, then takes off the flat. Whatever though, he puts the flat tire back in the trunk, continues driving and gets to a gas station where he gets some schnackos and gets back to the car where we see another error because now we can see that the flat tire is magically fixed now because the old wheel styles are back on. And before you say, oh well, he just fixed it at any tire shop like this one right here, and I will counter with, no bitch, because there's no...
Nah, see, you gotta be extra, like you gotta be paying attention for real, bro, to be trying to get all the wrongs in the movie, bro. You feel me? And bro, every movie 9 times out of 10 has something wrong in it, you know what I'm saying? Plus this is an older movie too.
No fucking way in hell the dude is opening that trunk in public like that. I'm surprised he's even confident enough to even park and leave it out on his own next to people like that, because bitch could be in there screaming and squirming around and shaking the car or some shit. Anyway, he gets back on the road and parks in a quiet area, opens the trunk, and breaks rule number 3. He opens the package and finds an Asian chick in there, so he cuts a slit in her mouth tape so he can slip in a straw so she can have some orang goose, then shoves her back in the bag, keeps driving, and hears her trying to scream in the back and struggle and shit. So he stops again, goes to the back, opens the bag, and he's like, what the fuck do you want? I need to pee. No, you want your car to smell like urine? Fuck! Fine. He takes her out, unties her, and puts a rope around her neck and gives her exactly 1 minute to go release the piss in some bushes. Then 60 seconds later, he's surprised to find that she has escaped. Yeah, no shit, fuckhead. You put a loose rope around your prisoner's neck.
Right, bro? Like, what do you expect, bro? Like, she don't got her hands untied, bro. Like,
and leave their hands free, then of course they're gonna try and escape, you dipshit. In that situation, you go watch her piss. Privacy be damned. Also, he goes looking for her and does eventually find her, but first he finds a tape that she took off her mouth and threw on the ground. And when he finds her, he puts it back on her face and it actually sticks. There's no way that shit still has stickiness on it with it being found on a fucking forest floor with twigs and leaves in it. Also feel like that piece of tape is nowhere near substantial enough to actually stop anyone from using their mouth. Like she could totally just fucking yawn and free her mouth. Especially now. Anyway, he ties it up again and gets her back to the car where he finds some white cops inspecting his vehicle. So he throws a bitch at them, fights them and knocks them out and puts them in the trunk with her. Continues driving over to the drop-off location where he meets Joseph Vigo from the first John Wick by his mansion, hands over the package himself so no one sees the cops in the trunk, gets paid, doesn't count the money, goes to leave, but then Josie asks to recruit him for another job to deliver a different package, and Frank, Jason's character, is like, why not? Takes the briefcase and leaves. Why did he say no to the robbers in the beginning of the movie then? Is it because they phrased it as a continuation of the current job? And why didn't he count the money like he did with them as well? It just seems like very inconsistent movie logic, especially for Jason's character, who is very anal and
true. But no, true. Very, very meticulous, bro. I feel like he's one of those actors, bro, where like he wants shit on point. No mess ups, no nothing. Like he's on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Very true.
Whatever. On the way back, he stops again for some schnackos, thinking how he's going to deal with the cops in the back when he decides to give him the same orange wine treatment. But on his way back to the car, it blows up and he gets very angry because the package is obviously a bomb. And he's like, bomb bukla. And he goes back to the mansion full of anger, knocks down the front door and starts fighting the people inside. They try to shoot him up, but he uses this fucking apparently bulletproof door to protect himself. Then does lots of cool fighting and gun stuff himself while asking them where Joseph is, but he left and they won't.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I could choose anybody else to play John Wick, I'd pick him. 100%, bro. I think he would be a great John Wick. No cap.
Tell him where he went, so he just keeps killing them and fighting them. Fights off these axe dudes with wall, lamp, furniture shit, and leaves this one dude alive for some reason. Goes to the garage, finds an unlocked Merc, so he hotwires it and steals it, driving through not one but two gates with the car coming out seemingly unscathed, but in following shot has some front end damage, which is another continuity error. Whatever though. He drives away and finds the Agent Ho is with him in the car because while he was fighting,
oh, there it is. I'm like, yo, it ringed. It ringed and it didn't change the number.
The guard that was watching her went to help and she took that opportunity to sneak away and wriggled her way into this Merc. He ended up stealing it and now he's super angry that she's in it. So he stops the car, throws her out in the middle of the road and leaves, but his kind bald heart won't allow him to leave her like that. So he goes back to get her, shoves her in his trunk and drives back to his bomb-ass mini castle house, drags her in, makes her some instant noodles, takes the tape off and allows her to speak. That tape, by the way, is the biggest continuity error offender in this whole movie because it changes from having a slit in it to not having a slit in it like 4 fucking times. So I'm gonna add a point for every time it changed. Anyway, she speaks and tells him that her name is Lai and he got himself involved in really bad
there it is.
So he shuts her up and goes off to bed saying that he wants to think about this clearly tomorrow and she can leave or stay. He doesn't really care anymore. She opts to stay though and snoops around his house looking at his shit and into this box, seeing a bunch of pictures of him being in the army, being like a pilot dude or some shit, meaning that he's a super skilled ex-military guy. Puts the box back in the wrong spot like a dumbass, then goes to sleep. Meanwhile, Joseph went to meet one of his goons that was left alive by Frank when he did his solo raid on the mansion. Asks him who did this. He says the transport did it. Then he asks him if he talked to the cops at all. He says he didn't, but Joseph kills him anyway and then takes his fucking heart monitor and clips it onto this other guy that's alive next to him. Pretty sure there's more shit hooked up to him that monitors his vitals, but I'm not a doctor so I don't really know. In the morning when Frank wakes up, he wakes up to the Asian bitch having made some madeleines for him. He's thankful for that, but he tells her to shut the fuck up because he likes his mornings quiet. And she seems to be another one of those bitches that majored in Yaponomics. She goes to get milk from the door.
Yaponomics.
She's at Inspector Baloney's at it. She claims to be Jason's new cook / booty call. He comes in to have some coffee with Jason and shows him his burnt up license plate, asking him where his car is. He tells him that he doesn't know, it got stolen yesterday. Then Lai chimes in saying that she found him and drove him home and stayed over for the night. So like the good inspector he is, he asks, so
shorty, big ass mouth, bro. Literally.
Where's the car? Frank responds with, it's in the garage. So they gotta take a look at it, and like a bad detective, he does not take a thorough look and only looks at it from the back, not from the front, therefore not seeing the front damage. And before he leaves, he tells Frank that he knows about his clients and his ex-military history and shit, and he's been appreciative so far that he's been keeping his work quiet, but now it's kind of too loud, and all these bullshit stories he's telling ain't wiping no shit stains off no walls, you know what I'm saying, dog? So he better come up with a better story when he comes down to give an official statement at the police station. French dude then leaves, and Frank tells Lai to shut up again. Then he's like, wait, it's too quiet now, because the bugs and shit stop making bug noises, and he hears a rocket whistle by and blow up the lighthouse part of his house. This house has a fucking lighthouse. God damn, this place is awesome. Anyway, they took cover and barely survived falling down. Then the bad guys tear through the house with armor-piercing rounds, but miraculously miss the 2 occupants, then hit him with another guided missile. So Frank takes them both down to the basement before it hits, where he has access
was not
to
playing, bro.
out into the sea. This place is fucking sick. And while the bad guys hit him with a 3rd rocket, they jump down into
that. That is sick, bro. I ain't gonna lie. A little castle look-alike thing, bro. Near the water and shit. He's cooling. Bro, that house reminds me of The Last of Us.
To an underground tunnel that leads out into the sea. This place is fucking sick! And while the bad guys hit him with a third rocket, they jump down into that hole, and Frank pulls out secret scuba diving gear that he had hid under there for cases like this, I guess. And they go cave diving out into the sea to another house that has its own indoors dock. He disables the alarm and opens the door. He's talking to himself like, you had to open the fucking package, didn't you, Frank? You had to fucking be nice, right? You should just listen to your rules and not... He keeps going on like that while they both take off their wet clothes, and she decides to make it up for him with some Ming Dynasty. Fun fact, did you know that Asian women have smaller penises because Asian men have smaller penises? So they both evolved to accommodate each other's sizes. Same thing with black people. Black women have Grand Canyon because black dudes have Matumbo Anaconda.
What the why the would you why would you add that in the video, bro? What the yo, that was a curveball and a half, bro. That was a curveball and a half. What a random freaking fact, bro. I didn't know that, but yo, what the fuck?
I made that all up, by the way. It still makes sense.
I thought it was being dead ass. I thought it was being dead ass.
Frank and Lai go to Inspector Macaroni
you
to get
got
further
me,
statements after the house blew up.
I
And
made
so they
all
were
that shit
taking a
up.
romantic swim past the point, which is a place where no one can see them swim, and there
Oh
was no one
my
swimming with them,
God,
so there was no
bro.
witnesses to corroborate these claims. And when they came back, they found the house on fire. And as for the fucking
Dog.
thousands of bullet holes in there, Frank claims that the bad guys that did this must have hit his house by mistake. That sounds like more donkey shit if I'm honest. Monsieur Frank, people with this kind of firepower don't make mistakes. So Frank's like, I swear down on my nan's grave, I don't know anything about what's happening, mate. Inspector Baloney then gets called away for something, and while he's gone, Lai uses his police computer to search up more information about Joseph, the bad guy, by looking up the black Mercedes that belongs to him, gets some info on him, prints it out, then puts the computer to sleep right before the inspector comes back. He lets them go, then she goes into a taxi to go and see Joseph, and Frank is like, good luck with that. So she gets out like, you're not coming? Nope. But he blew up your car, destroyed your house, tried to kill you. Don't care, and good. Now he thinks I'm dead and will leave me alone. Tells her that he's going off to start his whole life over again and suggests that she does the same. He tries to walk away, but then she tells him that there are 400 people on a container somewhere about to be sold off by that guy, and he's the only one that knows the container's number. She's trying to save them and she needs his help. Why did it take her so long to say this shit? I know they had pretty much no time, but why didn't she say something after they interlocked private parts? Why are you only saying this now, bitch? Doesn't matter. She
Interlocked private
trips
parts.
him sort of into helping her. They go over to Josie's office, wait for him to get there, punch him to take his gun and threaten him with it while looking around through files for the container numbers. They don't find it, so they ask him directly, but he doesn't say anything. By the way, Frank asked him why he tried to kill him.
Bro, what do you call it when somebody takes your weapon and uses it on you in Call of Duty, bro? What is that called? There's like a medal that pops up in the screen.
In the beginning of the movie, and Josie responds with,
You lied to me. You opened the package. You broke the rules. Your rules. What'd you expect me to do?
there's no fucking way this idiot could have known that at the time, unless he had someone following him the whole way. In which case, why the fuck didn't you just hire that guy to fucking transport the bitch? Anyway, Lai's father then walks in, and as it turns out, Winnie the Jing Poo is the one behind all this. He enslaved his own people and is trying to sell them off. She points the gun at him, trying to stop him from doing that, but she's got no balls and doesn't pull the trigger. So he pulls out his own gun and points it at Frank, telling her that if she really likes saving innocent people, now's her chance to save one by putting her gun down. So she does that, then they get a call from Josie's assistant saying that the cops are coming because Inspector Zucchini woke his computer up by actually pressing the wake up button. I'm pretty sure even back then, no one used that fucking shit. People just smashed the fucking spacebar a few times. But anyway, he saw Joseph's fucking face on the computer and figured that they played around on it and got his information, so he came over here, figuring that he has something to do with all the shit. So before he comes in, they knock Frank out and tell him that he was here trying to use this esteemed, fine, distinguished business gentleman's daughter against him as blackmail or something. And this will be a perfect time to yell out that your father is a human trafficker, so why ain't you doing that, bitch? Whatever, she stays quiet like the retard she is.
I mean, she didn't pull the trigger too. Trying to defend him, bro.
They take Frank away and he wakes up in a holding cell with Detective Zucchini opening the cell, walking in and telling him that he really wants to help him, but he has to tell him the truth now. So he tells him,
okay, they're smuggling people from Asia through Marseille in containers.
Bitch didn't say shit about Marseille, dude. In fact, weren't you just there trying to find information about where the fucking container is? Or, sorry, you were looking for the container number. Okay, I'm gonna assume, for the movie's sake, that she knew pretty much all the information about the container, like which place it's at, and told him off screen, but only does not know the container number.
She probably escaped it, bro. Pretty sure that's what happened. She knows about it because she escaped all of that shit. Unless freaking her pops told her, oh, so-and-so, we're doing this. This is the business I run, or somebody, you feel me?
Moving on, the inspector believes him and he's like, I'm gonna start a very long-ass investigation. It'll take ages, but a guy with your skills could probably get this done in less than 12 hours. If you're out. Wink, wink. Frank connects the dots and they escape the police station by pretending that Frank is holding Bologna at gunpoint and walking out. Gets into the inspector's Saab and drives over to the docks. Gets into a small boat that Inspector Macaroni doesn't think is enough for the mission he's about to go on. But Frank's like, don't worry. It's a good boat. Then he goes over to the dock
It's
where
a
the
good boat.
container is, arrives there at night, sneaks in and starts using a stethoscope to listen in on every container to see which one has signs of life inside. A stethoscope that disappears between shots, by the way. Yet another point on the board. He sees lying in an office, she's up there drinking tea, insulting her father and telling him that she hates him. So he slaps her, knocking the tea out of her hand, having the cup magically teleport from in front of the tea bag to behind the tea bag between shots. Yet another point. They load a couple containers on some trucks and start moving out when Frank starts taking shots at
Bro, you gotta think. There's gonna be errors. Ain't shit perfect, but like they replay scenes all the time, bro, to perfect it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure that part right there, let's just say it took them 10 tries to perfect it. That's 10 glasses broken, bro.
to some of the guys, starting a mostly shirtless Jason Statham action sequence that pretty much goes to the end of the movie that I'm going to try and gloss over as fast as possible. Josie goes to fight him in hand-to-hand combat and beats him up a little bit and tells his men to keep him alive, which, like, why? Literally useless, just kill him. Anyway, he leaves, Jason fights some more dudes, then climbs some shit, jumps on one of the lorries, the driver sees him, so he tries to get him off by smashing into some signage, which forces him to jump off this bridge onto a moving bus that goes to park up for the night in the bus parking place.
The timing of that.
Fights some more bad guys, uses his shirt as weapon, does some more cool moves, fights them inside buses, outside buses, then 1v1's the big bald dude in the like mechanics yard or whatever, I don't know what it's called, until some more bad guys come, so he knocks down containers of bad engine oil to make it harder for them to fight him, then covers himself in oil to give himself more of a slippery advantage, like, I'm a slippery boy, super slippery boy, can't touch this, I'm a slippery boy. Slides around fighting them like a slimy little bitch, then finds a bike, snaps off the clip-on pedals that it has, puts them on and uses them for more traction and more of an advantage in the fight, does a lot of bicycle kicks and shit.
Oh my
god,
yo, this man's a badass, bro. He is such a badass.
Finally had enough and decided to disregard the keep
Give him a John Wick role just for the fuck of it.
So he slides over to the big bald dude going like, slippery man, escape! And uses him as a human body shield. They both fall out of a fucking window into the water. The bad guys dump some oil out and light it on fire. He swims away to safety, then goes back to take some shit from dead / knocked out bad guys. And I'm again gonna assume that he found some shit on them that leads him to where the lorries are going or what route they're taking, because that's the only way that this next part makes sense. He gets himself a Renault 5. Fun fact, that shit was sold in America under the name Le Car. I promise that one I'm not making up. Anyway, he uses Franche Contre as shortcuts to try and catch up with the containers. Driving the Renault sank at top speed all the way as long as it can, but at the end of the day, it's a French piece of shit, so it breaks down eventually. Although the highway is only 1 kilometer away, he sees a plane crop dusting overhead and decides to run after it. It eventually lands and he catches up to the pilot who's pumping gas for it, forces him to take him up in the plane over the highway. You know, maybe Frank has experience with planes or whatever, and he could tell from the lines or flight path the dude was taking that he was gonna land soon and where he was gonna land, but still, dude ran down a fucking plane, dog. What the fuck? I can't be the only one that thinks that's insane. Anyway, they fly over the highway, find the trucks, and he gives the pilot the contact information for the inspector and tells him to call him and tell him to meet him down there, and jumps out. And although the pilot has literally zero obligation to do so after the guy jumps out, he still does that. Frank opens his chute and lands on one of the containers, and so much bullshit starts happening here, like this car getting T-boned and instantly exploding without a millisecond of delay. And actually slowing the footage down, we can see that it started exploding way before any contact was made at all. This door with super weak hinges, Frank getting knocked out of the front of the truck by Giuseppe and somehow surviving by clinging onto the underneath of it, his incredible aim with his tire iron, and the highway continually switching between shots of the highway somewhat busy and completely empty. I didn't exactly count how many times this happened, so I'm just gonna add 3 points on the fucking board. Anyway, none of that matters though, because he eventually chokes Joseph to death and takes control of the lorry, takes it off the highway and parks it by a lake or sea, I don't know. But then Chinaman shows up and holds a gun to his head, tells his driver to take his daughter away and shoot her if she tries to talk, run, or do something stupid. He gets Frank out of the truck and tells him
to the water.
Then right after is seen leading him up a cliff. If you want to lead him up there, then shoot him and have his corpse fall into the water, then don't say to the water, say up the cliff, because the water was literally like 5 fucking steps away, you stupid
No, right? Weren't they closer to the water down there before hitting that cliff, bro?
sweatshop pig. Anyway, at the top they have some good guy, bad guy back and forth. Then hear Lai scream and a gun go off. They both are stunned for a second. Then another shot goes off, but it's not from Chinaman, but from China Woman. Because Lai shot the driver, came over and shot her father to save Frank from getting killed. She's kind of bummed about it, but whatever. The cops arrive and they go free the enslaved Asians from the container. So did that other truck have a decoy container on it or what? Doesn't matter. This movie gets 17 minges out of 85 million eyelashes.
Oh my god. 7 out of 10, you feel me? Nah, bro. This movie is good. He is a great actor, one of my favorites. Give him a John Wick role. Guaranteed he would kill that shit, bro. No cap. Your continuity error, having continuity error is hilarious. Facts. 11:55. Did he fight in the cops rating his?
This comes so he knocks down container.
I'm not slippery boy, super slippery boy, can't touch this. LOL. 7:47, bro was cooking a little too much in the kitchen.
Fun fact, did you know?
Dog, that boy got me because I thought that was dead ass. And the little pause. I made all that shit up. What the fuck is you on, bro? Way too much info. The fun fact was out of pocket. Yo, this man got it, bro. Shout out to High Boy. Listen, Go watch this movie if you haven't. Old movie, but very, very good. And go watch his other movies, bro. He is a great actor. I'm not even gonna lie. Let me know what you guys thought, though.